on this Friday the 25th of June, 2 days away from payday. Oh my God, the joy of the 28th, my favourite day of the month, the 28th, when I actually receive some wages. Oh, anyway, hope you're all okay. Good evening to YouTube. I've can't speak already, repositioned my, still can't say the word repositioned my light here, so hopefully it's a little bit better lit, I don't know. Anyway, you made it. Oh no, I'm being thick now, Lee. What did I make? What did I make? What did I do? I don't know, I'm being dense. What do you mean you made it? What, the light? No, I didn't make the light. The light was an Amazon purchase. Oh God, I'm such an idiot. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna do a thing. I see what you mean. Yes, making it to payday. Yes. Sorry, Lee. I'm such a twat. God, you know, sometimes I'm so bloody slow on the uptake. It's frightening. I thought of you today actually. I had a bit of a dive into guilty pleasure. I would never profess to be one, but I did do a Destiny deep dive today. Stephen Bonnell. Is it Bonnell? Anyway, he's the most successful Twitch streamer. His figures are ridiculous, and I can't help but like the guy. Sorry, I've got itchy nose, itchy face. I can't. I think he's called Stephen Bonnell II, but his obviously his Twitch streaming name when he streams is Destiny, and you know, he's got lots and lots of subs, lots and lots of fans, and he's always invited to these stage debates. You know, there's God, literally hundreds. I mean hundreds of debate me, bro. You know, there's so much discourse. There's so much with Destiny, debating Vouch, all these different gamers. And you know, as you know, I don't know much about games, but I'm finding these very interesting personalities, fully ADHD'd by his own admission, and speaks. Oh my God, it's like a little bit like Ben Shapiro, but faster. So yeah, I'm discovering these Twitch streamers that have got a daft audience that will just do things like 24-hour streaming, or this is me sleeping, this is me eating, and they've just got a massive following. I find it very interesting to see the allure, the appeal. You know what I mean, Lee? Ordering my new internet ready for my official launch of my stream. Good man, good man. How does that work then? Again, I'm so dumb. I don't know. Like, like when I think about my internet, it's just a little hub, you know, a one from EE. I'm a bit dense with all that. I don't know what types of internet. How does that work? Can you get different types of internet? Let's look that up. Made me curious. What would it be then? What do they call it? Do they call it a hub? Different types of internet hub?
Here's a summary from New EduSec. There are 3 types of internet hubs, such as passive internet hub, intelligent internet hub, and active internet hubs.
Okay, obviously I understand that. Not. I have an 18 megabit connection and moving to 630 megabytes connection on the 14th of next month. Now, okay, alright, so 1,000 megabytes is 1 gig, 1,000 gigs is 1 terabyte. God, I used to know this off by heart actually. Now that actually makes a bit of sense to me because my American friend was boasting that when I go there to Florida, he's got 1,000, that they've got a gig of connection, and I've probably got less than, well, certainly less than that. Let's get talking. Let's get talking. Go live. Let's see if Lee can tell me how internet works. What have I done? I haven't rejected him, have I? Oh no. 630 connection. 600. How fast is a good internet speed? Don't know what to say.
25 megabits per second. According to allconnect.com, a good internet speed is at or above 25 megabits per second. These
Right.
speeds will support most online activity, such as HD streaming, online gaming, web browsing and downloading music.
Why isn't it connecting me to Lee? Why? I hit the request thing. I hit the thing. That's a massive increase. 630. It must be per second. Right, let's try this again. Right, go live with Lee. Right, done it. Come on. No worries. Is it? There we go.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. That's a huge increase.
Oh yeah.
How does one do that?
So you know the difference between fibre and broadband, yeah?
Oh, what? Sorry.
Broadband comes through the phone. There's technology called fibre optic.
Yes.
So fibre optic's a lot faster.
Right.
So at the moment, BT do fibre as well, but it's not well across the country properly yet.
Okay.
Whereas if you're able to get Virgin Media, they install their own fibre line.
Oh, which is an advantage.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they also monopolise that sort of corner of the market at the moment.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. But I managed to get quite a good deal out of them today, to be fair. So.
Shit. I mean, that is I can't even get my head around that. So you've gone, well, you've said 18, I've got no idea what mine is, but according to Tinterweb here, 25, is it megabits or megabytes?
Either or, both.
Per second, and yeah. So you're going to 6, yeah, here we, oh wow, yeah. I mean, that's huge, isn't it? That's going to be so quick for your streaming.
Yeah, it's going to be spot on. See, I've had to use my mobile data to do this connection because my daughter's gaming and doing video calls upstairs, so she just totally nuked my internet.
Right. Okay. I understand. How interesting.
Because I've got a busy household that all want to use the internet to the fullest.
Yeah.
Got to get through internet.
Yeah. Yes. You know, I remember hearing about this a couple of years ago, and I didn't understand it at all, Lee. And with you explaining it now, I do, like the fibre optics thing. So that's Virgin installing their own superior system. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you may go get fibre in your property now, for example, via a BT line.
Right.
Now, you say you're with EE, yeah? So, if like EE, all the other companies will rent their lines from BT Openreach.
Yes. Familiar with them, yeah.
So, unless you've got fibre coming into your property, you're only going to get a certain amount of speed for a certain price.
Got you, right.
I was arguing with Vodafone this morning,
right.
Well, last 3 days in fact, and they are arguing that there's fibre going to the exchange box outside the property, but not from the exchange box to my house.
Right. Okay.
But on my account, it claims that I've got fibre.
Oh, really?
Which I do not.
Which you do not.
I do not.
Ah.
The service they are meant to be giving me isn't nowhere near as good as what it should be. In fact, it's only as good as where it was before I upgraded. So I picked up a sting, and I'll get it changed in a couple of weeks.
Nice. Hence from the from the 14th, and you can't wait, right?
Oh no, I can't wait. Thing is, the package I've got as well. I'm getting all the TV channels as well.
Nice.
I'm getting a landline put in, which I've not had a landline for years. Not needed to.
Still haven't
but it's
got
part of the package.
Nice.
And they're also offering a SIM contract with unlimited minutes, unlimited data, unlimited pay.
Wow, wow. And that's all through Virgin. Brilliant.
Yeah. The whole package comes in at £79.
Damn, that's fantastic. That's fantastically good for you, man. How exciting. So basically the family could all be online and you could stream to your heart's content, couldn't you, really, with no interruptions?
Well, probably, so some of the games I play, I might have to download the file that's like 40 gigabytes.
Right.
So at the moment, it's taking hours, where this is going to take me minutes.
Yes. So, my God, it's makes me think, like the 5G network and stuff as well. I remember I think it was someone like Ericsson, like back in 2004. I read somewhere. I'm bad memory. Somewhere like Norway or Sweden, we're talking about the first lots of 4G, and then we had it in this country, and it was sort of back in 04, 05, and then it got quite prolific in 09. And of course, I remember Vodafone and EE having a stupid battle in 2019 around May time to say who had 5G first on their phones, and it was such a crock. It was, because even now, I mean, finding genuine 5G of any decent speed it's
not there.
It's not, is it? It's not mature.
No, 4G's only really being rolled out properly now.
Yeah. I think we're years away from 5G.
High coverage, I mean.
Say again?
It's like 4G's only been at high coverage recently.
Yes.
So we're nowhere near 5G, but by the time we get in this country, 6G will be out.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I think the whole panic about it, people being really daft about 5G towers and getting all silly about it, and I'm thinking, hang on, we don't even have mature 5G. I remember speaking to my friend at EE, and he was like, no, I know it's like all on the campaign, it's a good selling point, like 5G, but I only found 5G when I was in London at Guy's Hospital outside the Shard, and that's a good 5G signal, but you turn around like that and it's gone again. It's crap. It's really shit.
It's, like I say, the principle of it's really good. The data you can send via wireless is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just the coverage isn't there yet.
Yeah.
So it's like we're rolling it out, and everyone's going to be talking about TV by the time we get coverage in this country.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I saw a documentary about the installation of it, like these little sort of like rucksack type things that went on the top of a mast, and the installation, and yeah, very, very interesting. Man, I can't get over what you've said about the you're at 630, 680, what was it?
I should be getting an average speed of 635 megs.
That's crazy. That's so many times faster than the average speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So much. And
but they do offer a gigabyte line as well, but
right.
I couldn't get the package I wanted, and it then goes into ridiculous prices, so I just opted against that.
Right, okay. So obviously a gigabyte line isn't the same. because I'm a bit thick with all this. When I hear gigs, I think, oh, that's my, you know, I relate it to the phone, and it's just not the same thing, is it?
So a gigabyte line will just be 1,000 megs.
Right. Okay. Yeah. 1,000 megabytes to a gig, 1,000 gigs to a terabyte. I can't remember what comes after that. If it's a kilobyte or something, or I can't remember. But
yeah, I think it's like something like gigaflop or something silly like that.
isn't it? Yeah. It's I'm trying to think now. Oh, hang on. Let's just ask it. Chart of megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes. Let's try that.
Here is information from wu.ece.ufl.ed.
Data measurement chart. Yeah, it goes starting at the bottom. It goes. Hang on. Yeah. So a petabyte. No, exabyte, petabyte, terabyte, gigabyte, megabyte, kilobyte, byte, bit, and then that's it. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh no, it starts. Sorry, I read that completely. Have I read that back to front? Yeah, I've read that back to front. Yeah, sorry. 8 bits, then a kilobyte, then a megabyte, then a gigabyte, then a terabyte, then a petabyte, then an exabyte. There you go. Yeah, I read that upside down. Sorry. Wow.
So, I mean, if you look back in history with the old consoles, the Sega Master System was an 8-bit console.
Really?
Same as the original Nintendo as well. And then obviously with the Super Nintendo and Mega Drive, that was 16-bit.
Right. Okay. So that would have been for the time considered really good, wouldn't it?
It was. I mean, it was state of the art, and it remained state of the art for quite some time.
Interesting.
No, I mean, even kids today are enjoying them. I mean, they re-released the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo a couple of years back.
Really?
Yeah. My son's got the re-release version of the Super Nintendo.
Oh wow. Do you find that are your kids impressed with all this, or are they not? Do they just think it's completely normal?
I don't think they're impressed with like sort of the tech side of it, but I know that they do like the retro games.
Right.
Obviously, they've re-released different versions of games that I would have played as a kid.
Right.
Okay. So, like, both my kids love Zelda.
Oh, really? I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But because they've got the re-released version of the SNES and a few other things, they get to play all the old games that they would not have played if it wasn't for that.
Right. Okay.
They know the backstory of it because of the games that they play. They get excited and they even play the old versions of it.
Yes. Holy shit. Wow. I mean, I've got vague memories of being about 12 and my brother had a Commodore 64 computer and you'd go and get a floppy disk from, the computer shop and it would let you play like karate or kung fu. It's probably Mortal Kombat or something, and that was about 1983, 84. So I was 11 or 12 and I just, with the proper old joystick, God.
So my dad had a Commodore 64 and obviously like, you had games on disc, but you also had them on cassette.
Yes, that's it, yeah, of course, yeah.
But I remember watching my dad like sitting there doing late night pirating so he could copy games over and things like that, and I'd be watching him as like a toddler.
That's so funny. God, it's I wonder where we're going to go with this. I mean, will it be ripping out all the old wiring, as far as BT Openreach?
We try to use our old phone lines, and this is why we're having so much trouble upgrading, like the speed.
Right.
Because obviously they're always having to relay new over the old almost.
Yes. I mean, I can only imagine I don't know what they use. Do they use copper or what do they use? But I can only imagine the amount of physical wiring, the physical fibre that goes into it. I mean,
Well, it's all fibre optic, isn't it? So it'd just be like strands of wire that send like light as a signal.
Wow. So when we see them BT digging up the roads, is that what they're doing, basically?
You'd like to think so, but it's not one the case.
Yeah. What are they doing? I remember at the start of COVID, a lot of people were freaking out about that. If they saw a BT Openreach van, they were like, "That's it. That's 5G. That's killing us." You know, it's crazy. It's,
yeah, but then they like to point the finger or something, don't they? And things that are sort of making the world better or
of course
giving people a form of entertainment. That's what gets the finger point.
No, definitely.
Rap music is the reason why we're killing each other.
Yes. I mean, God, I even saw an article today that it was on CNN News, so I take it with a pinch of salt, but it was about China and Russia, and I think it was a Chinese or a Russian submarine firing some warning shots at a British submarine out in the North Sea or somewhere. And I thought, we're not going to know what's going on there. If they're playing war games, Lee, you know, these training exercises, you know, whether it's Putin on the border of Ukraine, you know, or Afghanistan, or us meddling with China in the China Sea, you know, and these nuclear submarines, they can stay in the water down there for literally years. I had no idea. I thought it was about a month, but they can stay down there for literally a year or two at a time. I mean, can you imagine living in those quarters? I'd get claustrophobic. I'd get a bit panicky.
Crazy, wouldn't you?
God, can you imagine but these people exist and we never hear about them. You know, you've got to delve deep on YouTube and find some documentaries about UK people, American people, you know, basically our Navy and the American Navy and the Russians and the Chinese, they're all at it. Look at RGCHQ in Bude in Cornwall, and the internet lines literally go under the ocean floor, all the way to France from Cornwall. You know, I've seen documentaries with surfers that are like, yeah, there they are, there's the lines, you know, under the beach, as you do. It's just, there's so much in terms of data, information, and the connectivity that we just don't know about, you know?
I mean, there is so much about the world we don't know because we're not allowed to know.
No, we're not, Lee. We're not. We're given a little bit of, you know, have a little bit of salt, have a little, you know.
To think that the internet actually originated from the UK.
Yes, it did. Yes.
We're so far behind in the technology, it's ridiculous.
I know. Embarrassingly so, actually, aren't we? Embarrassingly so. You know, I mean, even talking to my American friend yesterday, you know, when he mentioned that he had a gigabyte, you know, speed, he said it like it was no big deal. And I was like, is that fast? He was like, yeah, a little bit faster than what you've got. I was like, oh, it's just, yeah.
This is, and then when you look at, like, say, countries like Sweden, their internet's been amazing for years.
Right.
Absolute years.
God, why are we so...
I mean, I remember, like, before I met Kerry, like, me and my friend would joke about moving to Sweden just for their internet so we could play games better.
No. Oh, my God. Is she into it as well? Does she like the internet? Is she all into it or into it?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of anyone that doesn't use the internet, you know what I mean? She's not a gamer, but she uses the internet on a daily basis.
Right.
We all do. I mean, it's just a way of life now.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll give you an example. I had to drive this morning into Bournemouth just to sign the accounts for the firm, for the auction firm, for House and Son. And even though, you know, I'm not there, I'm not working, but I've got to sign the accounts as company director. And I spoke to our accountant, who's probably in his late 60s, and he asked me, how I'm sort of getting on at home, how you doing, and do I watch a lot of telly? And I said, no, I don't have a TV. And he looked really shocked that I haven't got a TV. And I'm not anti-tellies, because if I had a big screen thing, I'd love that. Of course I would. It'd be great fun. And I can't, if I could, but what he couldn't understand, because of his age, was how I could survive without a telly. I said, look, I've got an iPad, I've got a couple of good smartphones, I get all the content I want. I still know what's going on in the world. And he looked really confused and perplexed, because his generation is like TV, news, TV, information, and I was like, no, mate, internet information. It's interesting.
Thing is, though, internet goes down, you go back to what you know, which would be TV/radio.
Yeah, it would, definitely.
Fortunately, a lot of radio now and telly alike are leaning on the internet for better quality of broadcast.
Right, that's interesting. So, what in terms of like the way it's traditionally, I still don't understand things like radar and how we even get a signal. I never fully understood that. Like, when you watch a TV program, or this image now, I still don't. I can't pretend that I fully understand it.
Obviously we suspend the signal analog, didn't we? But obviously that's now been phased out. We don't do that anymore. We go through digital. That got phased out at late 90s, I think, early 2000s.
Right. Do you remember when Google came out in 98? I think 98 Google came out. That's 22 years ago now.
Yeah, and then before that you were dark indeed.
Yeah, it was. It was Jeeves and Yahoo. I even remember Friends Reunited and MySpace or something. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, so much has changed.
That's how me and Coke met, was on a chat website.
Yeah, that's good.
No.
That's good. So it can. Well, you're proof it can be done. Yeah. Actually, a couple of people I know have been married online. Yeah, it's I should try it. I should bloody try it. Really should. Because the reality is most people are online, aren't they?
It's not only that, it's an easy way to see what's out in the world. You know what I mean? You never know what could change your life.
No, it's true. I need to embrace that more often, because the other thing is it's quite safe, isn't it? Insofar as you can eliminate, like you understand if they're into gaming or into tech or into, it gets rid of all the crap that you might have to go through in real life otherwise.
I'd imagine so. The way me and Kerry were, wasn't for a dating site or anything like that. It was literally just a chat room. Where you just had a bundle of people just talking in one room, and you can talk with individuals if you so choose to.
Right.
So
how did you find it?
It was weird how we met, actually. So I remember telling my friend about his website, and he wanted to see what it was about, because the internet was fairly new still. And anyway, we've been having a drink like that, and we was going back over to mine just to grab a few more beers and head back out again. So I quickly showed him. And he was on there, but he was under my name, sitting there just being really vulgar and just being a piece of shit, really.
Whoops.
And I kicked him out and then started apologising to everybody he was giving shit to.
Right.
Some people told me to fuck off. But Kerry asked me, well, we won't have it. So we just started talking from there.
Right. So you were basically a peacemaker. You were like, sorry, that was my mate, it wasn't me, sort of thing. Yeah.
I wished everybody good evening, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't looking to even start mine. I was looking just to get back out again.
Yeah. How long ago was that? How many years ago was that?
That will be 18 years in January.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We've been together for 17 and a half years.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's really cool. So you're talking, oh, what's that? 2003, 2002, 2003. Yeah, it's a while. Yeah.
2004.
2004. Okay. Oh, of course. I keep thinking we're 2020. Yeah, 2021. Wow. Wow. You know, when I think about that, other people that have done it and done it successfully, it makes me realise that I need to give it a try. At the very least, I would put myself in an arena, you know, where like-minded people would be. You know, it wouldn't be too hard to find, you know, whatever, you know, if it's a comedian that you know, or like, for example, if I met a girl that was into the same podcast that I'm into, I'm going to get on with her. Do you know what I mean? That if I spoke to a girl online that was like, yeah, I watch Owen Benjamin, I watch Joe Rogan, I listen to these things, I like that phone, I'd be like, okay, you're cool. Do you know what I mean? That would be,
Of course.
yeah, I just need to find, yeah, find out what sites do that. Because I couldn't ever see Tinder or whatever. That's just all about getting a shag, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah. That's, I can't be doing that. Jeez. Oh, how's the running going, Lee? You done any more?
Painful.
Yeah. Is it really hurting?
I think it's still hurting from Monday.
I bet.
So we was going to go out again on Wednesday, but my daughter's hurt her ankle a little bit, so I told her just to rest it up and do some core exercises.
Right.
So I was trying to explain to her how valuable your core is when you're doing your running.
Yeah. Very much.
And then like a PE lesson on the Friday as well, so I didn't want to push her over doing it.
Right.
But I'm hoping to get out with the weekend with her.
Okay. And what's the weather been like up there today? Has it been decent, pleasant weather?
Yeah, do you know what? It's been like last couple of days, but we're meant to have another week of rain as of tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Oh,
bollocks.
So, Terry just shouted out that it's raining now.
Oh, God. Typical. As we enter July, you know, we're getting into British summertime.
Barbecue turned up on Tuesday, and I've built that on the Wednesday, and we've not been able to use it.
The what, sorry? What did you get?
A barbecue.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah. Got one of them 6-burner barbecues.
Oh, I love those. Yeah. That's a really, especially now, because now you know you're cooking, don't you? You know, do you know what I mean? Like, you've become very adept at doing the meats and the fish and the chicken and the beef. And I've seen some of your pictures, you know, I'm like, oh, you're not just doing the boring, oh, there's a George Foreman, there's a chicken breast, boom. You're making it interesting. Yeah, this is something I've always said to bodybuilders when I was teaching bodybuilders. I was like, look, you can still have a good clean diet and make it really colourful. You know, it doesn't have to be.
I mean, I'm the stay-at-home parent. I've got nothing but time to do things like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the other, I bet your kids will appreciate that as well. You know, because they're going to see Dad doing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I taught like Demi especially had to do by an age probably about 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
So worst case scenario, she's always got that signature dish where she can just quickly knock something up and go, yeah, have a bit of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like Father's Day, like Sunday just gone, I've done like a big meal for like everybody.
Did you?
Knocked up a cheesecake.
Oh wow.
I invented my own burger, which was interesting. Quite nice, actually.
Go on. What was the burger? What did you put in it?
So I had the brioche bun. At the bottom, I'd done caramelised onion, but with Worcester sauce.
Did you say brioche bun? I love those. I love brioche buns. Sorry. So then you had Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce
to help caramelise the onion, and that was on the base of the bun.
Nice.
And for the meat, I've done, do you know the sausage meat?
Yes.
I used that as the base. Cooked that off, then grilled cheddar cheese on top of that, and then raw grated apple on top of that.
Oh, good combo.
Really nice.
Good combo. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God, it's making my mouth. It's making my mouth water. Do you know, my mum used to make that for me when I was a teenager. It was if I was off sick from school or whatever, it's like cheese on toast with a bit of Worcester sauce and a bit of apple on top. Amazing, amazing. Oh my God.
That's what I mean. You had a bit of pork in for that. You're on a winner.
It does go well, doesn't it? Pork with apple, exactly. Yes, the French do that very well. Yeah, I've seen various French dishes with pork, apple. That sweet and sour thing goes really, really well. Good for you. And the brioche bun. I love brioche buns. They're so nice.
It's funny because obviously I've done sides for everybody else. I've done like a coleslaw and like my own chips.
Right.
I think I had 3/4 of the burger busted. I was like, yeah, that's me out now. I can't eat no more.
Oh, really? Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Wow.
I think I get to enjoy it still most of the time.
I was going to say, how is it feeling in terms of quantity, what you can put away now? Are you seeing a difference or?
Slowly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not looking to push it. I'm just letting it happen naturally.
Yeah. Good.
So eventually it just hit its peak and then that'll be me.
Yeah. You're not forcing it, are you? No.
No, not at all.
I was impressed with your pictures, by the way, that you posted. Brilliant. Well, it's when you see things like that, it's, you just swipe, and I just thought, oh my gosh. And the good thing is you put the picture when you were big first, which is the right way to do it. So many people show off and show the after picture. No. Show the before picture so that we want to see what you look like afterwards. And that's when,
thing is, So I've got one picture when I'm really, really tiny. But right. I think my last picture doesn't do the justice on the work that Dougie's helped me achieve over the last 7 weeks.
Right.
But I'm really, really more than happy with the direction it's going. I didn't think I'd ever lift properly again, let alone be lifting what I'm lifting and seeing results already. So
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's blowing my mind every single time I'm in the gym with Dougie. I mean, we're doing the same things, but we're always getting different results each week. I'm doing something better or pushing that weight a touch higher. Brilliant. Or getting that one more rep higher. Yes. I'm really enjoying the journey.
Brilliant. That's so important. It's so important because when obviously you're providing your own data, aren't you? Really, because it's you are your own diary. You can see tangible, palpable proof. As you just said, then by pushing a bit more weight, it goes to show that you've become more efficient because you're probably stronger now than you were then?
No, not really. See, when I was bigger and I couldn't see the change going underneath the fat, right. I would always look at other people too while I was lifting and attempt to outlift them.
Right.
And it was silly on my part, don't get me wrong, but it was my way of competing.
Yeah, I get that.
I remember training with Andrew, and I think he was getting me to do 1 rep, 200 kilos on the bench press, which that was scary as hell. It's like holding up a hat.
That is scary. That is scary.
But it was such a sense of achievement for me, yes. You know what I mean? And that was his way of keeping me into the training because I just couldn't see any change in myself.
Right.
Whereas now, I went into the gym with Dougie knowing that I'm never going to be lifting that ever again.
Right.
And I knew I was going to be starting from the ground up. So the only person I'm now competing with is me.
Yeah.
So I went in going, I can lift the bar. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And now we're putting plates on.
Wow. It's an interesting thing because I think ultimately I don't know. Look, dude, I was guilty of it for years, for probably the best part of 8 years, if not more. I always thought that the heavier I got, the stronger I'd be. And then ultimately I learned that wasn't really the case. And I was never very strong in the gym, not even when I was big. I was never a strong guy. I was never strong. But ultimately you get to a point where you're just more interested in you know, how healthy are you, you know, how you feeling, how you looking, you know, and it's just, as you say, it's how you competed, you know, it became something to go all in on. You know, I've seen it before with people when they're not seeing a visual change necessarily as quick as they'd like in their head, but goddamn, they're strong and pushing some weight, and they get very into the weight aspect of it, which I completely understand. Completely understand why.
I've got a buzz off it as well. The thing is, I've always been naturally competitive.
Right.
So, and I knew people would be looking at me all the time, do you know what I mean? Because of the size I was.
Of course.
And it wasn't something I was ever comfortable with, but I knew I was in the right place to change that. I had some old comments. I mean, I remember one of the PTs down at Metro called me out. Basically said, stop flying, you're like a bodybuilder, you ain't going to achieve anything, etc., etc. And I pointed out to him and said, I could be in Tesco shoveling my face with donuts, but I'm not. I'm in here throwing weight to that.
Yeah,
and although he may be right, at the time I was more there for my mental issues rather than my physical appearance.
Yeah, that's an awful thing to say. That's an awful thing to say.
It set me back, if I'm being honest with you, because I didn't go back into a gym again until after my operation.
That's a
I was out of the gym for like 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shameful thing to say. That is a disgusting thing to say because, well, number one, I think it's psychological bullying. I think it's hugely inappropriate to say that because so what? So what if you don't look like a fucking bodybuilder? You know, I'm sorry, but people that have got great physiques anyway, and there are always people in gyms that are just basically genetically predisposed to look lovely. They've just got, you know, they've got a six-pack when they're 12, you know, and you're like, oh God, you're one of those people, you know, and then, you know, who's putting in the harder work that you are because it hasn't come easy.
Right.
You know, you haven't walked in there as an 18-year-old and gone, da-da, you know, it's like... it's
just walking in there hard, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why it was such a chore. And I mean, that weren't even the worst thing he did. He pretty much pointed everybody out in the gym going, he looks better than you do, he looks better than you do, he looks better than you do. It's like, so fucking what?
Wow.
Outlift me.
That's...
I mean, he was like the best person in the gym, but he couldn't outlift me.
Right.
So what's he proving?
What a piece of shit. Yeah, that's really... And this is at Metro, you say? Yeah. That's...
And I actually honestly vowed I was never going to go back in there ever again.
No, I'm not surprised, Lee. Not surprised. That's fucking disgraceful.
I see him in there. I see him in there every time I'm in. And I don't think he recognises me, if I'm being honest.
No.
But I won't talk to him. I won't interact with him.
Good. Yeah.
I will one day. I will. One day I'll just turn around. I'll go in there when I'm pissed off and I'm just go, I'll have it out of it. I know I will. Because I'm like the kind of person.
Yeah, you just remember.
I'll do it on my terms.
I understand it. You know, it's people can be very, very cruel, and what could be an off-the-cuff, offhand, throwaway, casual comment for him is the sort of comment that will eat away at someone else. You know, it's what a wanker, yeah.
Mad, because like my weight, all the weight I had lost, I put back on again, doubled it, and then went to my heaviest after that. So effectively, could have killed me. Indirectly, could have killed me.
Wow. So just a big psychological effect on you.
Yeah. I mean, I had my own demons anyway, do you know what I mean? And shit like that really didn't help.
That's awful. Especially as you were probably just, you know, getting a handle on feeling part of the gym, feeling part of a community, feeling that you can show up and, as you say, chuck some weight around, and at the very least, you know, that is makes you feel involved. That gives you a sense of belonging. You know what I mean? To say what a piece of shit.
So this is literally how the day went. Yeah, I went to the gym. It was the day my mum died. Right?
Oh God! This is the day he said it. The day you lost your mother. Oh, for Christ's sake!
Yeah. And
yeah, you need that.
I
Don't
was
you?
getting shit off the rest of my family, and I thought normally what I would do is turn to food.
Right.
So
right.
I thought,
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to make my body hurt like a motherfucker, but in a positive way.
Yeah.
Because again, I've been guilty of self-abuse.
Mm.
So I thought, right, let me do this in a more natural and helpful way to me.
Yes.
Walked into the gym, and I must have been in there for like 2.5 hours, just throwing weights like that. I didn't know how I was doing it. I was doing it the correct way. I was overdoing it, admittedly.
Right. But
I was going too heavy. I was going too long. I didn't care. I needed to feel something.
Yeah. No, I get it. Just hammering yourself.
Comes along and calls me out like a motherfucker, and it's just like, yeah, this ain't the day, mate.
Yeah, you've chosen the wrong day.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. Did you tell Doug? Did you ever have a word with Doug about it and say, look at this prick,
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it to Doug, and he knows who it is.
Right.
He said he has got a bit of bomb for it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'm a big believer of what goes around comes around, and
Karma.
One day,
yeah.
motherfucker will get his.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
If I'm holding the smoking gun, it'll make me smile.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. It's my God, people can be despicable. What a despicable prick. Wow. I've seen over the years, I have seen cruelty in gyms. Real cruelty. From members to members and staff to staff and staff to members, and that there's one thing I can't deny is that certainly in my time in the industry, I did see a fair amount of catty, bitchy, nasty, not all the time, but a fair amount of it,
Yeah, many walks of life though, and the thing that really upset me the most is 9 times out of 10, the gym is probably the most safest place you can be to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Because as soon as people start seeing your face, it doesn't matter what shape you are, or what gender you are, or what race you are, they'll give you a nod and say, fair play to you.
Yeah, you get accepted in that environment if you're seen as a trier and you're applying yourself, God, the more I think about it, it's really disgusting. What a as you say, a person like that, they'll get theirs. It's
Thing is, physique, strength, and things like that ain't gonna last forever.
No, it's completely temporary. It's very temporary.
And if you're that way inclined and you've got that as part of your personality, when you're old and you need that person to be backing you up or have that shoulder to lean on, there ain't gonna be nobody there because normally you're a piece of shit.
They'll be old and lonely. Yeah, exactly. It's my God. And there's no way this guy would have known you as a friend. This is a comment he said to a fellow gym member. And just wow. I'm surprised no one actually gave him a thump. You know what I mean? Because it's
Nah. Like I say, I mean, got singled out. I think other people was embarrassed by him.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think no one had the bollocks to sort of say anything. I argued with the man, and I said my bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was wrap a dumbbell around the side of the head, but
I bet. Yeah.
Would it have been worth it?
No, because as much as it would have at the time given you a sense of relief,
I've got too much to lose.
I was going to say,
I've got young kids, I've got my partner, I've got my freedom.
Yes. And I know for a fact, having worked at Metro, we're always on CCTV there, and if you just picked up the nearest 5 kilo dumbbell, and just like you say,
I don't know, I was aiming for a 25. I wasn't going to fuck about.
The heavier the better. The heavier the better.
You
Yeah.
can do the job, right?
Yeah. Do it properly. Don't muck about with the little 5. Although I just in my head I went for a 5 because I thought, oh, you could. 5 is quite manageable. It could be an extension of your fist, couldn't it? Just hurl it at him.
No, this is the thing. I had a 25 in my hand already, and it just felt natural with my arm. I was just like, oh man, like, I just could so easily go.
Yeah, and you probably got a round of applause for it as well, truth be told. But like you say, at the same time, that would have been a bloodbath. There's no way you can clunk swarm with it, and not do damage, as you say.
Oh no,
you got yourself
the thing
in trouble.
It's not doing life, is it?
Exactly. You would have been in trouble for that, big trouble for that. So. Yeah,
oh, sure.
It's not worth it. But I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that had happened to you. Didn't know that. Had no idea.
Yeah.
That's a nasty story, Lee. It's a nasty story. It's an interesting story, but it's a nasty one.
It's happened a few times, like in my time of being big. But some people have got a clump, and some people it's got a bit of abuse.
Yeah.
Just direct.
Yeah. I mean, when I was at Anytime Fitness about 3 days ago, a lad walked in. He can't have been more than 22, 23. I could just see as a young lad, and he was huge. I mean, really, with the greatest respect, at least as big as you were. I mean, really, this guy had a job. I mean, I don't want to sound like an arsehole, but it was a waddle. He really couldn't walk. He was in trouble walking, and you could see it. And I just thought, you've got some balls, mate, because every gym's got its posers and, lads walking around like checking themselves out. And that might have been me in my 20s, but I just saw, 25 seconds and I'll come back. But yeah, I have to say, I do admire big people going in gyms and just getting on with it, I do.
Yeah, same.
Just got 10 seconds to go, and we will continue this conversation.
Okay.
I want to ask you about something. Right, back a minute. Okay. What are we doing? TrueHouse 379. We're back. Quebec. I know I look tired tonight. I look tired, and I am tired. Yes. Yeah, there he is. There's Lee. There he is. Let's get him back on video. That's nice and quick. Go on, yay. That's it, pretty quick that time. Pretty quick.
You're getting better, yeah?
I'm getting better. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting better. When did you realise that, because you got onto a point with your training where your attendance was really good, when did you start to get interested in food? Because you haven't been lazy with your food. A lot of people I know that have gone for the massive weight loss, which is what you've done, have done it through attendance, but they've just basically stopped eating. And you went away and actually learned about nutrition. So when did you realise that you were enjoying that?
I studied a level 3 nutrition course.
Good for you.
I'm qualified to write diets for babies all the way up to pensioners.
Right. Good. Okay.
I took it really seriously because I got fascinated with it. But I abused food, knowing that it would kill me one day. That's why I was eating. I wasn't eating anything substantial or anything.
Right.
But one of us or both of us have lost the connection.
Oh gosh. I'm still moving. Your seem to be a little bit frozen. Oh, there you're back. You're back.
Right, good, mate.
It's your daughter playing with the internet and upstairs gaming.
It could well be.
So
I
Go on.
started looking into food because my daughter would refuse to eat food full stop. Like,
Oh,
she'd go to
really?
school with a packed lunch
Oh,
in
really?
reception and would come home with her food not touched.
Okay.
And I made her a deal that anything I cooked fresh, she
Yeah.
would have to eat, and I would make a solemn promise to her that I would try and lose weight.
Okay. Okay.
So I started cooking fresh meals more regularly,
Good.
more healthier, trying to get balance in, you know.
And
And
was she on board?
that's pretty much. Sorry?
Did she keep her end of the bargain? Was she on board?
Yeah. Even today, she classes herself as a foodie these days, so she's a good girl with her food.
Excellent.
She's more than the partner does sometimes. She's a little gannet.
Really?
There's nothing of her. She's like really tiny.
Oh my God! So she's got a crazy metabolism. Oh yes.
Yeah. That's how I used to be. So
That's
she takes a lot after me.
Right.
But no, I mean, food's always been important to me. Because I wasn't able to go out and enjoy things like restaurants, enjoy entertainment, go too far without hurting or being judged.
Right.
I have made my home my kingdom.
Right. Got it.
And when you're socialising, food plays a big part in the social aspect of life, right?
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Huge.
I got good in the kitchen.
Right. No, that's true. It's massively social. Massively social. You know, my idea of heaven is going out for a meal. You know, that's it. That's I literally cannot think of anything better. Is to be in doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be, but just a restaurant with good food, good company, lots of laughter. You know, sampling each other's foods. Yeah, man, that's literally. I never get bored of that shit. You know, one aspect of living in London that I did enjoy was just trying different grub. You know.
Yeah, I'm always experimenting. If I see something, or I like the smell of something, or whatever, I'll research the hell out of it, and I'll do my utmost to make it good.
Good. Good.
So, like my rice dish now, instead of having plain rice, I'll do it like as a jambalaya.
Oh, really? I love
Yeah.
jambalaya.
It's nicely spiced. It's got some really good flavour about it, but it's not stodgy either. And it's it took me a while to perfect it, but it's really tasty now, and it lasts as well. So you can have it, so it's all portioned off.
Right, and you can reheat and portion that out, can't you? Yeah. Do you know? I actually treated myself last month. I've not even used it properly yet, but a really deep, big wok. You know, like a really a proper Tefal one. You know, non-stick.
Nice.
Yeah. So when I get paid on Monday, I'm going to go to Lidl. I'm going to buy plenty of food, and I'm just going to start, because I get a lot of joy out of cooking, and it's only because I'm on my own. I probably, you know, lose a bit of motivation there sometimes, but when I get into it, I really get into it, you know. And I'll do, as you say, you know, you can do, especially if you perfect something like jambalaya. I used to make, of all things, coronation chicken in the summer, you know, with the baked almonds on top, with the rice and wild grain rice, and just, you know, a cold dish, and I don't know, man, I'll make a big chili con carne or a big spag bowl or whatever, you know. I mean, that's about my limit, but I do love it. I do. It's an enjoyable thing. It's good therapy.
So when I moved on to solid food for my after my surgery, I actually made some recipe PDFs for people that have had surgery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went down the tree. I was meant to do more. I've just never had the time to sit down and do them.
Right. Oh my God.
It would be like, I'd be taking the pictures of the step by step. I'd be writing down all the ingredients for how many portions.
Wow.
If you want to add extra so you can have some for your family members, then obviously you can add this amount more. It was so in depth. It just took too much time to do it, you know.
Yeah. That's something that's actually changed I've noticed over the last 10 years. Yeah, the last 10 years in bodybuilding. Back in my day, food prep, although it was done, it was a completely individual thing. And what I've noticed the last 10 years or so, even when I was working at Metro, just how that's an industry now, food prep, meal prep. Even that language, what do you do? Oh, I'm a meal prep person. Yeah, and there's people with their own companies now online, aren't there? Tremendous. You can order, whether it's whatever, it's amazing. It's become an actual industry.
I think it's good to a point, but again, it's making us lazy.
Yes, can be a bit too convenient, just ordering online.
I think a big reason why the country, well, outside America, is so big in terms of like being obese, is lack of education.
Yeah,
I truly believe that.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. That's a popular
You're going to get
point.
a few that break the exception, like myself, because, like I say, I abused food because I didn't want to live.
Right.
But I educated myself as well because I changed my mind. So it's like swings and roundabouts, right? But education does play a big part.
Absolutely. I mean, God, how many podcasts have I listened to, and they're talking about the epidemic of I think, and this is me going by memory, I think it's something like 44% now, or 45%, but it's getting on for half of all Americans are morbidly obese. And diabetic, and they're 12, 13 years old. And that's one thing I do remember from my years in America, is just being astounded at seeing teenagers, and they're 25 stone. I'm like, oh my God, literally just huge. And
it's sad as well. I know what that feels like.
Right. You've lived in that body. You got the memory, of how you moved, how you breathed, how you slept. Not being funny, going to bed, sitting on the loo, having a shower, putting your shoelaces on, your socks. It's no joke. It's no joke. Yeah, exactly. Wiping your ass. Yeah, it's no joke. It's people don't get it. They think it's funny. It's not fucking funny. Even when I hit 25 stone and it was whatever. But I remember wiping, through my legs. I just couldn't do, and getting cramp and then dripping in sweat, trying to put your shoes on or your socks on, and just being, like, oh my God.
Doing it as a double break on your elbow.
Right.
That's the real job.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's fucking. It's the education thing's legit, man. It's legit. When you were doing bad, like when you were doing the bad shit, and like you say, it was your go-to, it was your comfort. Did you get a sense of immediate relief? Did it give you happiness temporarily?
I wouldn't say I ever really comfort ate. Like I say, it was more of a torture to myself rather than a comfort.
Right. Interesting.
When my mind was focused, I lived like almost like a Buddhist. Like I was so good. So when you would have seen me training with Andrew, for example, I would have been eating once a day, but I would have a really big meal.
Right.
Yeah, like it's huge. But it would be very little carbohydrates. It would be a lot of protein, a lot of vegetables.
Right. Okay.
And it would fill out a big, massive plate or a
Of course, yeah.
And I'd eat a lot of it.
Right.
But I would eat once a day, and it'd be about 4 or 5 in the evening.
Right. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
But I'd be down the gym twice a day for 3 hours a session. I'd be in the gym working out for 6 hours a day.
Wow.
And I managed that for 7 months.
Wow.
Like every single day without fail.
And, how did you feel when you were going through that, knowing you were burning energy, as in the fat that was on you? Yeah.
Other than now, where I am now, it is probably one of my most proudest moments in terms of like a personal thing when I was fat.
Right.
Because people, although I wasn't seeing the difference, people was, and there was like, you're so inspirational. There's a guy that goes to Metroflex that followed me on Instagram.
Right.
That I knew he followed me on Instagram. I didn't realise that he ever went Metroflex.
Right.
And I must have been working out one evening. He came up to me and went, "Mate, can I have a picture of you?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's nice.
You know,
that's
but
nice.
We talk occasionally now. You know, he's such a nice fella.
Yeah.
But I would never have met him unless I'd done that journey.
No.
There's a girl in America that reached out to me when she started her journey.
Right.
Asking me about like hydration and a few other bits and pieces, and we just shoot the shit because she was watching some of the stuff I was doing.
Right.
And she's gone on to be really, really popular in like the Instagram world, and she's lost a shitload of weight and got a really huge following. I think she's got about like 280,000 viewers.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's what I mean.
Big.
But I remember her reaching out for like some tips on like the whole weight loss thing.
Right.
And this is like way before I even considered surgery.
God. Amazing. It's amazing how a person's path can radically change direction. You know, when their first goal was to simply get their ass in the gym and just get something moving, you know, and then of course you go on to a different level, you know. Yeah, you know, if I'd asked you before you embarked on the journey, you know, Lee, could you see yourself being this into food, into the knowledge, understanding food groups, you know, what a food will yield, what it will deliver, you know, obviously your proteins, fats and carbs, and just, you know, the answer would have probably been no, you know, that you weren't that bothered. But as you got into it, you were like, actually, this is the best tool I've got. It's the food, it's everything. And I'm sure Andrew and Doug and everyone else would have, you know, really hit that message home that the most powerful thing is your grub, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they, especially Andrew early on. I mean, obviously, by the time I got to Doug, obviously I've already had my surgery and I've lost all the weight. And he knows that I've got that understanding just by us talking for the last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, Andrew would always say, "Look, you work fucking hard, but you've got to make sure you're doing just as well in the kitchen."
Absolutely.
Because if you're not, oh no. Because it will reflect on how you train. It's going to reflect on your look. It's going to reflect in your mood.
Oh God, yeah. You
know,
no, it's true.
Spot on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to turn around and said like that when I was at my peak that every single day was a bang on day, but 9 times out of 10 they were.
Yeah.
You know, but I also remember like the day that I started slipping as well.
Right.
You know, I had birthday coming up, and like everyone was going, "Oh, go on, mate, it's your birthday, have a day off," sort of thing. Worst fucking thing I ever done.
Go on. What happened? What happened with the day off? Did it mess you up in the head? Or?
I agreed that I'd have a day off, and I would have like a treat.
Yeah.
And the wheels just disappeared. They didn't even fall off. They just vanished.
Oh God. Okay. So how long before you got back on track?
Years.
Right.
Every single time I fell off, I've always put the weight back on again, and then some.
Wow.
I was the traditional yo-yoer.
And a bit of punishment to yourself because of that, or yeah,
always.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
I understand that.
It's like such a big mental part as well. And you know what the gutting thing as well?
Go on.
That summer, Andrew, I must have got to about 8 stone down, yeah?
Wow.
Andrew said to me, "Go and get some bloods done." He goes, "I'm sure everything's fine, but for the amount of weight you're losing and the speed you're losing it at, it's not going to hurt."
Right.
So I took his advice, I went to the doctors, and the doctors offered me weight loss surgery.
Wow.
And I turned it down. I mean, I don't need weight loss surgery. I said, "I've got this shit. I'm fine."
Got it. You're right.
roll forward to 2019. I'm going under the knife.
Oh, I was going to say, my God. And those surgeons took you seriously because of your application, because of the diet, because of the change in your body. They're very reluctant to work with people that don't pull their finger out.
Well, the thing is, I did bypass a lot of checks, so I was meant to have one-to-one with dietitians and shit, and I didn't.
No.
You know, they established quite early on that I didn't have an eating disorder.
Right.
I just couldn't stay focused long enough to get the weight off my body.
Right. No, I understand that.
So,
It's interesting, you know, Lee, because I mean, I'm sure you've watched documentaries too, where they do interview the surgeon, and the surgeon says, in no uncertain terms, you know, we need the patient to do their bit. You know, we need the patient to keep their end of the bargain up, and you know, they can't go back to being like, oh, cakes. You know, it ain't happening. They've got to keep it clean. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
The surgeon on the day of my surgery tried talking me out of surgery.
Really?
Because I've lost, like I say, my weight was unknown, for a while. And then my first recorded weight was 460.
Right.
By the time I had surgery, I was at 404.
Wow. Gosh.
And he's going like, you've already done really well. Like, you sure you want surgery? I went, look here, mate. I said, I've been here before. When if you don't cut me open, I'm going to cut you open.
Yeah, it's me
so
or you, Doc.
And off he went.
Jesus Christ.
I had a letter from him actually a week ago, and some of the, I can't remember like properly like the words he used, but it's like amazingly well, extraordinary, them type of words in the letter in terms of the journey I've had.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice to see. You know what I mean?
It's a huge lift to get that tiered, man. And did you find that very motivational that you got a medical man that's basically cut you open that is saying that to you? You know, it's so uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah. Not only is it uplifting, but I've always been that kind of person that's always wanted to help others that's been in my situation.
Yeah.
And that's why I document all my stuff.
Yeah.
Because one, it's a nice reminder for me. When I look back at some of my original stuff as well, I go, oh my God, like, how far have I come?
Yeah, exactly.
But I can also share it with other people, and so they can go, okay, you do know where I'm at.
Yeah.
How did you feel in this situation, sort of thing? Or they can trust me to answer some questions.
No, absolutely. And the other thing is, in your personal life, I'm not trying to dig, but is your Kerry, isn't it, your other half? Yeah.
Yes.
So she would have been, you know, I would imagine she would have been grateful as well, being like, oh my God, honey, look at you, you're changing. I'm going to have you around for longer. You know, to be really blunt about it, you know, that's the truth. The likelihood of you being on this earth for a considerable amount of time longer has been greatly increased. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Our relationship has struggled because of my weight. I mean, I didn't sleep in a bed for probably about 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely understand that. Absolutely get that.
Because of my size.
Yeah. Difficult.
We bought this massive bed because of my size. And the first thing I'd done was fall through it.
Okay. Oh God.
So I ended up sleeping on the old mattress on the floor.
Yeah. God.
Had an ambulance called out for me because when I tried getting off the floor one morning, I had popped one of my lower abs into my ribs.
Yeah, Jesus.
That was like a motherfucker.
Yes.
That was really painful.
Oh my word.
But, you know, and I mean, like, even like the paramedics would turn around and say, like, you're not the first person this has happened to.
Right.
But obviously, you see him struggling, trying to help me up.
Yeah.
I'm like a man whale. Do you know what I mean?
You were, not now.
Yeah, of course. No, not at all now.
Interesting. Yeah, it's wow. And the other thing is that you're aware of is that you've done it at the right age, because, you know, I don't care what anyone says, it's not as easy when you're in your 40s and 50s. It's just not. Metabolically, it's harder. You know, it's just
I can imagine. I mean, it wasn't easy doing it all the time. I was trying to do it in my late 20s and 30s.
Exactly. You've hit the nail on the head. You know, you're still a very young man, late 20s and 30s, you know, 28, 30, 32. You know, embarking on this mission then is still hard, but infinitely more doable than another 10, 12 years. You know,
Of course.
and it begs the question, and again, I'm not saying anything you don't know, but what would you have walked towards? Would it have been a heart attack? Would it have been diabetes? Well, yes, it's quite likely.
It's probably going to be a nice cocktail of everything above, to be fair.
Frankly, yeah, yeah, and I know that myself. You know, just from my own body. Just it's amazing how futile we really are, how vulnerable we really are, and how much is within our ability to change. You know, I know that's a bit corny, but it's bloody true, man. You can do so much yourself.
So I remember the year leading up to my surgery. So I decided I was having a surgery, and then from almost the day I decided I wanted surgery, it took a solid year before I was under the knife, which is quick.
Right. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
And I turned around. I think I'd spent from the October to my last Christmas where I hadn't gone under the knife. Just pretty much eating. If I fancied something, I'd eat it.
Right.
I wouldn't deprive myself, but I wouldn't be silly with it either. I wouldn't go over the top.
No.
And then I think February come round, and it's like, right, I'm now witnessing people that are embarking on their journey because I've just had surgery, they're losing weight, and I'd get almost angry and jealous. So then I would start losing weight off my own back again, going, well, you're losing this much, I'm going to join you and lose that much as well, but doing it how I know I can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I think a few months down the line, I stopped that again and put it all back on again the way I used to. And then probably the last 4 months before surgery, I started experimenting with some of the like pre-op diets that I had to go on.
Right, right. And what was that like?
Because it's a killer. You're on milk only for 2 weeks.
I remember you saying that. I remember.
It's fucking hard.
Oh, God.
But I needed to know what it felt like.
Yes.
I don't know how to prep myself.
Right, right. No, I get that.
And the only way I could prep myself is by doing it. I thought, well,
it is.
If I can do it for 2 weeks, I can do it for like 3, 4, 5 days, and then go, well, at least I know what it feels like. So then mentally, I can sort of go, this is what we're going to do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What I did want to happen was to do the pre-op diet once and like literally mess it up because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But it was a breeze. I just cakewalked it.
It's interesting because you've removed the nasty element of surprise, like you say, by having a dry run, by having a go, whether it's 3 or 4 days or 3 or 4 weeks. You know, you're not going into it blind. You know,
not at all.
I know I'm stating the obvious, but yeah, there's a lot to be said for having a go. And you know, one of the things I'm realizing even now during, you know, I mean, I've lost 4 stone 10 pounds now. I've lost in the last sort of 14 months, and I've still got some to go, obviously. And I just realised there's so much to be said for, again, what we can do. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm also I'm never not surprised by how much stored energy that we actually have in body fat. You know, in terms of, you know, you can actually go pretty much days without eating and do some exercise and be like, oh my God, I have to be burning into, you know, body fat. And yes, you're engaging some muscle and there's always a risk of losing some tissue, but it's pretty hard to not lose some tissue. But overall, you know, you're literally eating into body fat.
Yeah, and I mean, that's pretty much what the operation is as well. Obviously, being, like, say, 5 stone overweight, I don't think they would offer the surgery to somebody like that. But I've lost 20 stone on this operation. Do you know what I mean? And
every time I hear that, I giggle because it's just so fucking brilliant. It's not funny, haha, but it's just amazing. It's so cool. 20 stone, that's a big man. 280 pounds.
That year, I was eating nothing really. I mean, like, the calorie deficit would have been huge.
Right.
And it's like, how do you survive? How do you live?
You've got
and it's easy. the fat on your body is literally a battery. That's what it is. That's what it's there for.
There you go. Stored energy attached to your bones. It's called adipose tissue, body fat. Yeah, exactly, Lee. Exactly. And a lot of people don't realise that. You know, as long as you're hydrated, as long as you've got enough water on board, you can literally, depending on your levels of discipline and how much mental horsepower you've got, like you say, just go, and just keep eating away. You know, it's not excuse the pun, it's not a cakewalk, but you know, it's not really a nice thing to say, but it's not a walk in the park. It's God, Kipling cakes. Yeah, it's, you know, you've done it, and of course now you've got that knowledge. You know, you can't put a price on that.
No, not at all.
You really can't.
You know, I mean, I'm grateful where people will reach out to me and ask for help because, again, when you've walked in them shoes, you know how much they're suffering, and to have courage to even ask for that help is such a big thing.
Yes. Most people suffer in silence. Most people say nothing. You know.
I did.
Right. You just kept quiet.
Yeah. I played the role I was meant to play, which was meant to be the jolly fat man.
Right, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still play the comedian now, apart from I look different.
Right.
But I don't be funny as a mask anymore. I be funny because that's how I want to be.
Yeah. You can opt to be funny rather than using it as a gag because you're the big guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, that's well, we've seen various Hollywood actors and comedians do this, you know, from John Candy to, oh God, I'm drawing a blank now. Oh, John Goodman, John Candy, Roseanne, you know, these people that have made a career. Oh God, what's she called? Melissa, other. But some people I've seen, actors, have been told once they've lost the weight, their agents will say, oh, you were funnier when you were fatter. People like the fat person. I think, well, we've mentioned Adele, of course, but, you know, I always find that amazing. Again, it's that association with the funny person because you're the fat, jolly one, you know.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with that Australian actress. Is it Rebel Wilson?
Yes, it is. I think she's really pretty.
I think the other day, and I'm like, oh, God, like, fair play to you, because she went right under the radar with that one.
Yes. Do you know what? That's going to make me look at pictures of her, actually, because I've always thought she's a beautiful woman. I've always thought she's got a lovely, you know, even when she was a big girl, I thought, what a pretty face. I always found her to be really attractive.
Well, Kerry was just saying she's been training for a while, so it would be interesting to see whether she's had the same success or not. I hope she does, because I genuinely like how she performs. I think she is funny.
Oh, she's hilarious.
She's one of them actresses as well, where she's ballsy as hell, man. Like, she's not afraid of a challenge, that girl.
No. God,
it'd be nice to see her successful, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, I think she's a very pretty woman, and I can't think, what was it called? Perfect Pitch? There's
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect, yeah, that's it, you know, with that Anna Kendrick or whatever. I thought they're very funny films. They're good, fun films. And again, it's the comedic, you are the comedy relief because you're the big one, you know, and I can't think. There's another female Hollywood actress. Oh God, Melissa someone. She's done loads of comedies, but again,
Melissa McCarthy.
Thank you, Melissa McCarthy. That's the one. Yeah, they're hilarious women. Very talented, very funny. They do good improv, good comedy, good acting. They can play funny and sad because as big people, they can do the tragic comedy as well. So they can pull at your heartstrings and make you laugh. But in the case of Rebel Wilson, I remember watching those was it Pitch Perfect? The Perfect Pitch? Yeah, those films. And I just thought, you're a really good looking woman. I just thought she's really attractive. I'll have to look at some pictures of her actually. So she's been training, you say?
That's what Kerry informed me, yeah.
Let's have a little look. Let's have a little... okay, let's just try a little sneaky look on Google here. Recent photos, Rebel Wilson. Oh
Showing pictures that match.
Dude, wow. Let me show you the iPad. Wow, she's, goodness me. Oh my word, she's done, okay, let me show you. Wow, that's an attractive lady. Look at that. See that?
Thing is that she looks like a totally different person, right?
Yeah, she does. She does, yeah. Actually, oh gosh, she does. Wow, yeah, she does, look.
And fair play to her.
I mean, that's a real transformation, but you are right. That's the biggest change right there. Look at that.
Yeah, that's mad.
Isn't it?
I just hope that she continues to get the same success that she had.
I do. I hope she gets the same amount of jobs because dude, I mean, in my opinion, she's beautiful. I mean, she was pretty before, but now, I mean, look at her, in that blue dress. This one here, I mean, yeah. That's an attractive woman. As you say, I hope she gets the same amount of work. I really do. That's when it kind of sucks for these people because you think they've built a career. They've built a career out of being, as we've said, the jolly fat one. Just dropped my bottle top. But yeah, it's interesting. Oh, I'll tell you what I saw the other day was it did turn my stomach. James Corden. I mean, fair play to him. He's done really well in America as a chat show host. James Corden started. Was it Gavin and Stacey here the years ago, and he's done really well in America. Fair play to him. But he was doing. I've noticed all these American talk show hosts that do late night shows, Corden and Colbert and Kimmel and Fallon. They've all done these COVID songs. It's, oh mate, it's cringeworthy. It's so fucking cringeworthy. It's like they're singing, now, oh, you just got to watch it. You just got to watch it. I played it last night and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
He does some interesting work. Some of the things he does, I think, is absolutely brilliant. And other things, I just think you just need to look at the end now.
Need to look at what's
So some of the things he does is amazing, and other stuff he does, I just think you just got to knock it on the head.
Yeah.
I remember some of his comic relief stuff with like the England football team, and even with like the Man United football team.
Yes.
Brilliant sketches he's done. I mean, what he had like Wayne Rooney and things doing was brilliant. David Beckham as well. Some of the stuff he's done with David Beckham in the past has been awesome. Absolutely.
He can be a good sport. God, I'm trying to think what else he did now. No, I mean, he's look, any English personality that goes to America and nails it, and they've got their visa, or they're certainly, as a performing artist, they're going to get a visa and ultimately a green card, which from first-hand experience I know how hard that is. But yeah, it's again, I'm just the whole Dr. Fauci COVID thing, the messaging makes me cringe a little bit, that it's rammed down our throats. You must get the vaccine, and and again, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I just understand some people might not want it, and not everyone can have it.
Nah, and that's something I think has to be accepted by people on a whole.
Right.
People have different walks of life, and you've got to sort of roll with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not allowed it. So yeah, you're right. I hate the finger pointing. I hate when you hear about families and partners, just going, oh, you've not been vaccinated, stay away, like you're a social pariah, like you're a leper, stay away. If
there was anything to actually pull anyone up on, I'd be getting pulled up left and right for breaking rules everywhere.
Yeah.
Thing is, you got people running the country that ain't even sticking by the rules, so Why should the rest of us?
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, when are we due? God, my fingers, I can't wait. I'm trying to wave to these people that are kindly arriving. Um, when is the is it July the when it's supposed to be lifted with Boris? Is it, I don't know, 20th of July
I
or
don't
something,
know.
or 20?
I mean, will it be? I mean, we may have another 2 variants by then, let's be honest.
Right. There you
Whatever
go.
that means.
Did I mention last night that my friend in Essex has got this side of his face has become paralysed? So yeah.
He did. Yeah.
He sent
That's
me
ridiculous.
yeah, it's quite scary. He sent me a video message today on WhatsApp, and it's a Bell's palsy. His eye's gone really droopy. It's all fallen down here. Yeah, that's happened to a few people. I mean, Chelsea Handler, the American chat show woman, she tweeted or put it on her Instagram, you know, that she'd gone a bit frozen or something, and I don't know.
What I don't understand is you don't get this reported on the news.
No, of course not. No, it's against the narrative, isn't it? It's against the agenda.
But again, as I said last night, if you look at the people that are suffering with it, then you know, if you was able to combat obesity in the right way, this probably wouldn't even be a thing.
Right. This is a big thing, isn't it? Look at the statistics again. The people that sadly go under with it are always, most of the time, you know, comorbidities that they're, you know,
Or of a certain age.
Exactly, age, weight issues, you know. I mean, yeah. I mean, even with my own, I hate the label, but you know, clinically extremely vulnerable. It just sounds so serious. Yeah. You know, I know other kidney transplant patients like me that some have been okay and others haven't been okay. You know, after having it. So I must admit, I am just doing what they say. I am just doing what I've been told at the moment. You know.
The thing is, I mean, medically, you don't really have a choice. Let's be honest.
No.
I mean, you've already reached that expectancy where you go, how am I still here? So now you're like one in what?
Yeah,
it's like
it's ridiculous. Yeah. How am I still alive? It's a bit weird. I mean, I had a thought yesterday, Lee, when I was talking to my friend in Florida. I thought, oh shit, I'd love to visit. You know, I'd love to go over there for a month or something. Because let's face it, I've been here for 14 and a half, 15 months. I'm thinking, damn.
Yeah.
But what's the reality of trying to get a flight? You know, Justin wants to go to Florida for a month. Well, how's that going to happen if I haven't been vaccinated, right? It's not going to happen, is it?
No, that's the truth about it.
Isn't it? That's shit or bust right there. I mean, that's the fucking reality, is that I know that if I decide that I want to go to Florida, I'm going to have to say to my doctors, right, how risky is this then? What you know, which is the safest one?
See, when we talk, you seem very on the fence on what you should or shouldn't do. Like, so if like someone went to you, right, Justin, here's tickets.
Right.
For 12 weeks' time.
I'd go mad. I'd be like, oh my god, of course I want to go to Florida, because, you know.
It's almost like home, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because the reality, you know, I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but the reality is, it would be like me staying with you and your lady, right? As a very quiet house guest, you know, and you wouldn't really know I was there, but you let me stay for a month or two. And that's with Sean and Heidi and John and Tamara. One lot are in Daytona, one lot are in Cape Coral, but it's both in Florida. And they've both said, look, you know, you can just come and stay, and that's your part of the house, and just stay there for a month or two. I'm like, brilliant, I'd love that, that'd be great. I haven't been there since 2016, and it really appeals to me, but I know the reality of getting a flight is going to be vaccine or no flight. You know, I've Googled it, so I don't know. It's a funny one.
It's on the realms of impossibility. It's just at the moment, unless you are vaccinated. It's not a thing at this moment. But again, getting vaccinated can be done within a month.
Right, this is it. And also, let's be honestly, in 3 months' time, you know, if I say to my friend, look, because I'll be honest, because I turned 50 in January, I really, and it's the 18th of Jan, I've never had an American Christmas. You know, in all those times that I was living in America, I never had a Christmas there. Or a birthday, actually. No, that's not true. That's not true. I've had 2 birthdays there. But I'd love to have my 50th over there and a Christmas maybe. It would just be cool. And look, let's see where we are in 2 or 3 months. See, the restrictions might be different. You know, they might change the vaccine thing. Do you know when I started to get suspicious when people that had COVID, again, I'm not a doctor, but people that had COVID and successfully beaten COVID on their own, naturally, just, you know, robust enough and strong enough to, like, yeah, they got it, they got sick, they felt unwell for a week or 2, and they kicked its ass. Those people are getting vaccinated as well. And that's what I literally don't get. I'm like, hang on, you've already beaten it naturally, you've got your own immunity strong enough that you've got your antibodies by beating it, and they want you to be vaccinated as well? That's stuff like that I don't get.
Twitter earlier on, and a footballer that I follow on there was saying that he went to take his kids abroad. Now, in this country, we're not vaccinating our children yet, but they got to whatever country it was, and they wouldn't let him off the plane because his kids hadn't been vaccinated.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Bloody
different
hell.
rules, different countries, isn't it?
Well, yeah, well, this is it. You know, yeah. So what did he do? Did he have to just wait on the tarmac and wait in the airport and then go home? Did he?
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ.
And what made it worse is British Airways knew about it but didn't say anything. They still sold him the tickets.
That's not good. That's misrepresentation.
No, they'll get done for that.
Yeah, that's completely irresponsible, because they should have just said, look, you know. In fact, it should have been a standard question, shouldn't it? If he booked them online or on the phone or whatever, it should have been, oh, Mr. So-and-so, you know, we take it you're all vaccinated, and at which point, you know, that should have been a standard question, shouldn't it?
You'd like to think so.
Yeah.
It goes to show though, right? I mean, even now, like, you're still getting stitched over with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, there's so much about this that just doesn't, you know, on the one hand, I absolutely understand what's happened. I don't, you know, and also, I'm not one of those dickheads that's going to go, oh, it doesn't exist, it's not real. Yeah, of course it's real. I mean, holy shit. You know, when my London doctors at Guy's have told me to my face, you know, we've seen patients die with it, and some have been okay and some haven't. And then some that have been vaccinated have been very unwell. 4 have died, and, you know, and some are okay. And it's all a bit like, oh, where's the data? You know, where, I don't know.
The only issue I have with it, and I'm with you, yeah, it's real. There's no doubt in that.
It is real, yeah. It is real.
It's as real as what flu is.
Right.
Right. People die of flu. Well, they don't generally die of flu. They'll die of pneumonia, which is caused by the flu. Yeah.
Exactly, Lee. Exactly. Yeah.
And again, we're going to be specifically targeting the elderly.
Yep. And
I'm going to use the term vulnerable, but again, the obese.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
And I know what it's like, yeah, because if I just got a box standard cold, which I got often because my kids are in public school,
right,
it would take me a good solid month to 6 weeks to fight it off.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it. The reality of a real flu is that it's serious. You know, as you say, pneumonia. People cop it all the time. You know.
But you try to get sick pay because you've had flu. They want you to turn in.
Right.
You try to get your kids off of school because they've got flu. They want them to turn in. All of a sudden, you get something that's identical to a flu but with a different name, and they shut up the fucking world.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah. Yeah. It's God. It's weird, man. Look, I know I watch too much American media. I always watch it first before I watch the English stuff, but. Again, there's always a couple of stories. You know, I mean, Lee, it was only 3 months ago that this conversation, you know, on Insta, on Facebook, well, it got me removed off. Well, I started a new account, didn't I, on Instagram? But these were bannable offences on Facebook. If you mentioned COVID, if you mentioned alternative treatments, if you mentioned that the vaccine wasn't always efficient or always safe. And I don't like the idea that it's caused division, especially in families. I mean, again, my friend in Essex, his wife pressured him to get it done. And now he's gotten unwell from it. She's not getting it done after making him do it. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Isn't it? And
Wow.
that was his message tonight. So she, again, they're a lovely couple. You know, I used to live with this guy. He's a great friend, but she basically said, "You've got to get it done, honey. You've got to get it done." And he got the vaccine done to placate her and to please her. Got sick, got this facial paralysis, and he's been. I mean, he was admitted to a stroke ward in Essex, and he took the AstraZeneca vaccine, and they had a suspected brain bleed. I mean, holy shit! And the guy's 50. He's only a year older than me. And now his wife won't get it because she's understandably scared. I'm like, oh my God, you're the one that called it on, you know. And it's,
wow.
Yeah, mate, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So
the thing is as well, like, so I could have actually probably took Kerry with me when I got mine done. They would have just jabbed her up there and then,
yeah,
like,
they would have done, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they literally, like, they've got walk-ins. Like, you don't even need an appointment anymore.
Right.
You know?
Where did you go? Was it a hospital or a GP or what did
I went to a local community centre in Downham.
Okay. Wow.
Got a text message saying, "Hey, you're up. I know that if I want to get my operation done before it gets dangerous, I need to have it done, otherwise they're not going to touch me." They pretty much said as much.
Wow.
So it's like, they sort of took my freedom away in that respect, you know what I mean? Because I would, if I had to fall on one side of the coin, whether I was anti-vaxxer or not, I would fall on the side of anti-vaxxer. But at the same time, I don't want the gallbladders to sort of go to the point where I need emergency surgery in case they can't get to me in time.
Sure. No, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Just figured, well, let's get it over the line. I've got this far. It'd be a shame to sort of like pop out now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. No, this is it. Actually, when am I due? Let me check. I'm going to just check on my phone and just see when I am due back in hospital, because that could be. Where are we? I think I'm due in August actually. Let's have a little look. June, July. I've got a feeling it's August sometime. Hang on, what's that? Yes, 18th of August, 10:30 in the morning. That's when I'm back at Guy's Hospital with the transplant surgeon. So, dude, it's a Wednesday. I mean, I'm always out of there by 1 o'clock. I mean, I could be with you by 2 o'clock. I mean, so see how you're fixed for the 18th of August.
Keep it open. No problem for me. Music.
Do it. That'd be so cool. So 18th of August, that's a solid date. That's, so I will be coming up. So I'd like to come across and see you.
You'll be on the super fast internet then as well. I'd have had it a month.
Yes, you will, won't you? Yes, of course. Yeah, you'll be showing off. Yeah, look at my download speed. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so slow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your Twitch as well. I'm very interested in that. I think Something feels different about Twitch. I mean, like I said, I've got an account. I've opened an account. I haven't used it. I haven't done any streaming on it, but it looks interesting because it does appeal to the geek, right? And we are
it
geeks.
started off as a gaming platform, but people do use it for live chats. See, what I've got it set up for, I've got it set for multiple things.
Have you?
Because you can sort of jump between scene and scene.
Right.
Which is really good. So I've got all like the animated graphics now up, and
oh really?
So I've got it so you can see like all my social media links.
Right.
You can see when people have subscribed or followed the channel, etc., etc. You can see it. So, like, say if I wanted just to talk to the viewer rather than show what I'm gaming, I can do it. So I can just switch to me as a bigger camera on the screen rather than just me in a corner gaming.
Right. See, this is,
and it's all on the fly as well. You just click a button and it goes boom, boom, boom. If I decided I need to go and have a slash, I can press a button and be right back, and there'll be like a bit of graphics on the screen. All very professional. Looks very good.
Oh, Lou. And is this a program on the computer that does this? I mean, excuse my ignorance, because again, this is my massive downfall. You know, I'm so like, you know, I'm like, oh, if I want to stream on Insta, YouTube, and Facebook, I've got my 3 phones, right? And you're like, no, no. And you know, I'm starting to think, like, for example, with this. Okay, it's not a computer, but surely with the iPad Pro, and it's last year's model, it's a good one, the iPad Pro, and to the best of my knowledge, I bought this little thing, which is this extra, you know, it's got all the little ports on it, so that would go into my USB-C on my iPad Pro, and if I need to run any other bits on it, that's what this USB Type-C Hub Pro is. Essentially, the ports you'd have on a laptop are on here. So that, just from watching YouTube tutorials about how to be a better streamer and how to do the embedded video you're describing, apparently the iPad needs this, which is why I've bought it, and I haven't used it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Bring it down with you, and we'll have a play around with it.
I was going to say that, because what you've just described, and I mean exactly, you bugger, right? Exactly as you've described it. Like I say, if we want to see Lee streaming and you're talking head like we're doing now in the corner of the screen, and then we see gameplay live, brilliant. Or if you want to do, for example, look what I just did, showing you Rebel Wilson by holding up the fucking iPad, going, look at that, mate. And that shouldn't be happening. I should be able to click a button, and then my head goes down the corner of the screen, and you see,
Right, see, and I can do all that as well. So I can jump from web page to game to a third-party program, and I can do whatever I want from that position.
You're showing off now.
Just by clicking. Not only can I do it, but I can do it so it all comes up on my phone, so I can just click the things on the phone.
Oh my god, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I mean, I don't want to take the piss, but when I come up on the 18th, if I bring, you know, my 3 phones, it's terrible, isn't it? My 3 phones, because you need 3 just, no, and the iPad Pro and that little portal thing, that hub thing, then thank you.
I'll have a play around and see what we can get going for you.
Yeah, because this is silly. This is. You know, I'm seeing people streaming very successfully with less equipment than I've got. You know, and I know I am absolutely in the bracket of all the gear, no idea. You know, it's like, oh, you've got a red microphone, well done. Are you using it properly? No. Do you know what I mean?
Though, mate. I mean, my microphone weren't even set up properly. It was being used as a microphone.
Right.
But I have to have the microphone this close to my face to be using properly.
Right.
Like, people would hear the toilet flush the other side of the corridor, and people would hear it.
Really?
You know? Yeah. And they would hear it clearer than me talking.
Oh dear, that's not good. That's not right, no.
But since I've got like the arm now and it all set up properly, I'm coming through nice and clear now.
Good. Excellent.
But I mean, I know what I know. I'm not going to turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I know absolutely everything."
Sure.
Who does?
No,
But I know where to look for the information.
Exactly. But you certainly know a lot more than me. So let's be fair. You know, the couple of people I've spoken to, yourself and my friend Tom in London, who he works in media, he was like, Justin, you've got enough tech, you've got enough stuff, but you're just not knowing what to do, you know, and you don't need 3 phones, mate, you don't. You know, he said the same thing as you. Do it off the iPad, you know, because basically the 2020 and 2021 iPad Pro is, there's an argument in the tech space that, you know, the iPad, especially with this little gadget, becomes a laptop, you know, because that's really, you know, everything's there that will be on the side of a MacBook Pro, for example. And I've watched channels that are doing exactly what I'm doing, but they're doing it off an iPad Pro with their mic and one phone. And they're doing what you said about checking on the phone and doing screen shares and screen mirroring and embedded video. I should be able to chat to you now and say, oh Lee, let me show you this little clip on YouTube. Let me show you this little picture of Rebel Wilson, and it appears on the screen. And that's all I want to do. It makes for a better stream.
That wouldn't translate to Instagram, but it would translate to
YouTube,
Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
There you go. Happy days. As long as I'm streaming to a couple of channels, you know, I'm always happy to chop and change and let. Do you know what I mean? I've got I don't know why, but Twitch, especially talking to you, I thought, shit, you know, Twitch seems to be a different community. And some of the longest conversations, really long form like this, not just 10 minutes of, because again, it's not like I've got production values. I'm not working off Final Cut Pro and going, oh, look at this edited, you know, all of a sudden that becomes a podcast. This is a live stream, and it's very much warts and all. It's completely raw. It's unscripted. It's unedited. I watch these debates like, you know, it'd be like you and me talking about Joe Biden and Boris Johnson and whatever else, you know, and I watch these debates on Twitch, and I'm like, that's damn good, because they're just going at it like this, you know.
Yeah. So, a lot of people I find that are doing anything longer than 20 minutes are generally going over Twitch now.
Right.
But they like the football's on at the moment, like the Euros.
Right.
A lot of people will be doing the watch-alongs on there, but instead of doing it on YouTube, they'll be doing it on
Twitch,
and it'll be on for 3, 4, 5 hour streams.
Exactly.
Where I think they're moving away from YouTube because of obviously it's then uploading onto their thing and taking up a lot of time to upload it at the end.
Yes. And the how we know how censorious, you know, the censorship with YouTube, and here we are, 25 seconds remaining. Do you mind if I say good night? We've done 2 hours. We've done 2 hours again. We've done all right. All right. I'm gonna go and have. I've got some chicken soup. I'm gonna have that before I go to bed. There you go. Right.
You have a good weekend, and I'll catch you soon.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much, Lee. You take care. Right. YouTube. I will see you very soon. Same time, same place, same face. Ugly face. See you soon. This was episode 379. So episode 380 will be Monday. I'm a week streamer. Not that kind of week streamer, but a weeknight streamer. All right, ladies.